The thing is, the question was, where do the aliens come from? Do they come from another dimension? Do they come from the future, or where do they come from? When you're dealing with our energy, they have an area called Akashic records. Are you familiar with the Akashic records? The Akashic records is said to have everything that has ever been done and everything that will be done is already there. Okay? In a sense, we have many Akashic records around us, and I read that. That's why I say I can read the past easiest, I can read the present, and I can read some of the future. Okay? Aliens come from other dimensions. We have past lives, we have future lives. Okay? We have things I see people do that I don't understand quite yet because I don't have the experience, or I can't relate to it in the terms of our lifestyles today. But if I was living in the 1200s and someone said internet, I don't know what I would think they were nuts. Okay? So it's those people that were really ahead of their time that were able to see where the next level was. Okay? So I hope that answers that. Okay. Yes?
Do you ever feel like these psychic interpretations come in your dreams as opposed to being when you're awake?
Absolutely.
Are you more open to those things when you're asleep and receive these things?
When you are dreaming, you have, it's a form of clairvoyance when you can remember the dream that you have. Okay? That's another form of clairvoyance. Now, within the dream, there are different kinds of dreams. All right? Usually dreams have to deal with emotions, and they all are about you. But you can astral project, you can go into the past, you can go into the future in your dreams. But what it should help you do is it should help you process. Okay? And what dreams help you do is help develop your perspective, which psychic ability does as well, and mediumship does, and furthers that along. It helps you gather your perspective.
What do you have a lot of people who've passed that come and visit you over the years in your dreams?
Once again, that's about process. It's about process. It's about connection. It's about validating that we exist beyond our current dimension. And it's not about being in conflict with your faith. It's not about being in conflict with anything that we believe in. It should further validate it, and it should support what you're doing. A lot of times when I'm dealing with people who are in severe grief, it's good that they come to a medium as a support person for their regular grief therapy. It should not be the only therapy, but it can be severe. It can help those who are in severe grief, you see. So, because once again, it's about that healing. Another thing that I want to bring up to you before I forget is that when you're getting these experiences, journal. Okay? Journal. Journal. Because journaling is a very, very key component to validating what's going on with you and validating experiences that you've had over a period of time. Okay? Because you will learn about yourself, and learning about your own psychic ability is a journey of self-discovery. It's about you discovering who you are and what your life lessons are going to be. Do certain issues keep recurring? Do certain things keep happening? And how do I deal with it? Or certain spirits come to us that we don't understand necessarily what it is they're trying to communicate with us. So we're very connected to other dimensions, and it's really a delight to have so many of you here who accept that, because it's people like you and me that have to communicate to others that it's okay if you're getting information from other dimensions, because it's part of our existence as a soul. Okay, so that's an important part of our development. Any other questions or anything?
You better get to John's question back there about remote seeing.
Okay.
I know
remote viewing. Yes, sir. You wanted to know about remote viewing? Okay. Go ahead. Would you have another question?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I need you to speculate with me a little.
He's been to a class.
Not too many can do this, but go back about 60 years.
Okay.
And you'd be running with some old girl, and if she was trying to impress you, and all the expression was in the conversation, I just flashed on something. Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
Is this your psychic thing you're talking about, or
Yes.
is this intuition?
No, it's not
You know,
intuition.
I just flashed on so-and-so.
It's clairvoyance.
It was?
It's clairvoyance. You see, we use...
It was a fad, though, was it not? At that time, is it?
No, it's not a fad.
I
It's
haven't
part
heard
of...
it since then.
Well,
Haven't been dating either, but.
Well, let me just say that we get flashes all the time, and that's what I'm talking about having that inventory of images in your mind that you can call upon to help you. Okay. Well, they were trying to impress you, but I do want to mention something about remote viewing.
Yeah, please.
Now, from my perspective, we have 3 types of senses. Okay. And we have 3 areas of sensing information. Our first area is our physical senses. Our physical senses are the ones that we use most frequently, and that's the ones that we're constantly receiving information. The second sense that we have, or second set of senses, are our extended senses. Our extended senses are the extensions of our feelings, of our sight, of our hearing, of our knowing, of our mind. And so we have extended senses. Those are our psychic abilities. Now, you've all heard of the sixth sense, correct? We don't really have a sixth sense. We have extended senses, okay? The extended senses more correctly identify your psychic abilities than just saying the sixth sense. Women's intuition is not just one sense. It's an umbrella term for all of the senses. Just to say it's one sense is limiting, and it shouldn't be limiting to our abilities. ESP, extrasensory perception, which was around that time that you were talking, and through the 50s and 60s. Those were times when people were trying to figure out what it was that was called psychic, you see. So all of those things are what we deal with. But the third set of senses that we have are our remote senses, okay? We most frequently use our remote viewing. Now, what is the remote senses? The remote senses are those abilities that you receive information from areas that are beyond your current space, okay? So if you are sensing something in your home right now, or you're seeing something in someone else's home, that is remote viewing. If you're hearing something from another area that you can verify, that you know that you can find out if it's true, that's your remote hearing. Your remote feelings are when you are feeling something from maybe a relative that might be in Florida or might be in California. How many times have you heard someone said, when so-and-so had a heart attack, I just knew it, or I felt it? That's part of your remote feelings. And I segment them from your extended senses because they require additional work or additional practice, you see.
Twins do a lot of that, though, the remotes.
They do a lot of telepathy. They do a lot of telepathy. They do a lot of, they may have those things. But psychic ability is so nuanced and it is complicated that it's good that we start to segment things, because there's 2 genres of psychic ability as well. And the genres of psychic ability, the first genre is receiving energy, okay? And then learning how to interpret that energy. The second type of psychic ability is sending energy, okay, is sending healing, is sending thoughts, sending information to others. You see, I haven't even talked about that. Okay? All I've talked about is the receiving of energy today. So, yes, sir.
Are you familiar with Bracco and Trevendi,
No.
where they send energy?
No, I'm not, and I'm not as skilled in the sending aspects or the sending of psychic energy to others, except healing. Of course, I send healing.
That's what they do,
Yeah.
they send healing energy.
Okay, and Reiki does the same, and other forms of psychic talents.
But they
And
do it in mass, they do it
They-
to thousands of people at a time.
well, and that's all very good. It's all good sending that positive energy. Some people try to send negative energy, and that's not good.
I very seldom can see auras. I see your aura better than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, well,
And it's beautiful. I mean, it's,
oh well, thanks.
you just glow.
I glow. Okay. So let me go. That lady right there. Yes, ma'am.
What is your process if you want to make contact with somebody who's passed away, with whom you were very close, and you'd like to make some kind of mental, visual, whatever, contact? How do you do that?
Ask them. Ask them to come. And then to give you information. Ask them to maybe you hear their voice or something. Now I'm going to give you some homework before we close today. And then this is going to help you develop your abilities. But what was your question, sir?
These, for lack of a better term, I think it's so-called law of intention.
Yes.
Glennis, I forget her last name, has written 2 or 3 books generally on that subject. You have, how does this tie in with what we're talking about?
Well,
sending, I think.
sending, and it's all about your soul's energy and sending a specific type of energy to different people. Now, if you want to be more specific on how this energy works, you have to visualize an atom, and you have to see this atom with the electrons and all types of energies circling the atom. Okay?
I was going to say Adam and Eve.
No, Adam and Eve were this types of energy, and we're getting into technical things about psychic ability and mediumship, which I believe need to be discussed. But when you are considering yourself and you're sitting in your soul's energy, your energy is constantly going around, and you have different layers of energy that's going. When you pick up information from another person's soul, it's either in a cross like that, which is a fragment, or they align. And they align for a certain period of time to where you can see things around another person. So if you want to call it string energy, you can. So it's about strings of energy and picking up those strings of energy. Does that make any sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes, it does. You know, when they talk about out-of-body experiences, that's your spirit leaving your body, and if something happens to your body while you're out, does that body feel pain?
You're still connected. You're still connected. Yeah, you mean you feel like if you're out of your body and you're in an accident or
With an
something?
intent to return.
Well, it's you're never fully disconnected from the body as long as the body is has the ability to have energy. So yes, yeah. So they preserve the body's energy in order to preserve their life, but their soul is not affected. Their soul is still has strong energy there. So, yes, ma'am.
I often heard that if you have a moment of deja vu, that's an indication that you're on the right track. I don't know, can you tell us a little bit more about when you have a moment of deja vu?
Well, a moment of deja vu is usually a clairvoyant experience. Sometimes it can be a feeling. But it's a validating experience. I've been here before.
Right.
I felt this before.
Or this already happened.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's more about validation than right track from my perspective. So if you felt like you've been here before, you may have dreamed it, but it also gives you a sense that you were prepared to be where you are. Okay, or it should. Yes, sir.
Is there any study about, here's two people, one is very susceptible to hypnosis, the other supposedly isn't. Now, as far as them having psychic ability or anything, or any correlations between psychic ability and you know, the ease of hypnosis? No.
Well, it's your choice. Once again, if you want to be hypnotized, I believe you can be. If you don't want to be, you don't have to be.
I understood that there were some people that it's nearly impossible to hypnotize.
Well, that would be their freedom. That would involve their freedom of choice. It would involve it involves a lot of different factors. Focus, if you want to. If they want to focus on a particular event or a past life or another situation. So, as far as psychic ability, is anything beyond the physical, anything metaphysical, that is involves the psychic senses. Psychic ability validates metaphysics. It's the mechanism that proves that there is existence beyond the physical. You see, that's my viewpoint. Okay. And one reason why I don't do a lot of research on other people's work is because I like my work to be as original as I can be. And I'm happy to learn about other people's work. But I try to develop my own theories and my own ideas. I want to give you some homework, and I'm going to show you this. Okay. The homework is I want you to work on your psychometry. Okay. And one of the ways to work on your psychometry is by getting pictures out of a magazine or cutting out obituaries. Okay. And if you cut out some obituaries and you fold them up, put them in an envelope and mix up the envelopes and then hold them, you get information about the person in the obituary. Now, what happens is you may get a word, or you may get something, or you may hear bits and pieces. Whatever you get is good, and it helps you pick up on those different energies. So, may I hold your bracelet?
Yes.
Okay.
All of them or one?
No, just one. Not all of them. I'll explode if I get it. Okay. What is your name?
Jerry.
Jerry. Is your mother in spirit?
Yes.
Okay. Your mother's energy is here. Did your mother like jewelry and things
Yes.
like that? So it just seems that she was always liking to. She may have liked to do a lot of window shopping or a lot of looking at different
Yes.
objects. Okay, and you may be the same.
Yes.
Okay. Did she like nice cars, or was she always about cleaning, or you always
Yes.
about cleaning?
Yes.
Okay. And so she didn't like clutter.
Fussing at me?
She loves you. She says that she couldn't be more delighted with you. Okay, but it seems like she was she very sick there at the end? Did she have any breathing
Yes.
issues?
Yes,
Okay,
that was
okay.
it.
Because it just seems that she had a hard time breathing.
Yes.
And so she wants you to know she is all right now, and she's glad that you're meditating. Are you doing some meditating?
Yes.
You're doing some meditating. And she says that things are going to be okay for you. So, have you been going through some difficulties or?
One struggle.
One struggle, okay. So she just says that she says it will take time to work things out. Now, do you have any sons?
Yes.
Okay. Have they been studying or as an engineer or architect or anything like that? Because I'm just seeing him doing a lot of paperwork.
I have a son in a new job.
Okay, new job.
And another son that does a lot of paperwork.
A lot of paperwork I'm
Yes.
seeing here. So that's what I'm seeing. So a lot of this is coming from this energy here, and because it's very strong. And a lot of glass around you. The glass. Do you like glass? Like a lot of glass? I don't know why I'm seeing glass. Or do you like windows? You like to be around windows, or like light coming in? Light coming in. Okay. So those are the things that come. from doing psychometry. Okay, so that's just a little demonstration of how it works. And now, this is a very powerful tool to use when you're doing psychometry. When you're going for a job interview, just put your hand on the person's desk and you should get information. Okay. You should be able, but you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention. And if you don't pay attention, then it's just going to be garble. It's just going to be garble to you. We all have these abilities. And you want me to do, what do you have for me to hold? Michelle's going to help us with that. Okay. And what is your name again?
Christine.
Christine? Okay. All right. Christine, are y'all related or you're not related? Okay. But Christine, are both your parents in spirit? Or are they both here?
They're both here.
They're both here. Okay. Are you real close to them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because their energy is very strong. Now, also, did you ever grow up in a farm, or anyone have land around you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because there's just a lot of land around you. Now, I'm going to give you the mechanism as to how I'm doing this. There's two ways that I'm picking up information from you. Your voice, okay. I'm seeing, well, more than one. I'm seeing energy around you, and this right here. Now, do you have a brother? Or okay, is he still here?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm picking up all this information about people that are currently here. Okay. Now. And you said that there was land. Was there a farm around them or anything?
Well,
or
I
they?
live by the ocean, so there was a lot
of land. Okay.
There was a farm. I did see cows.
You did see some cows, okay? Because I'm seeing some farm animals and things like that. Now, are you a swimmer, or were you a big swimmer at one time?
Oh, we all were.
You all okay? Well, I mean,
We live by the ocean.
but see that's another thing. Information that is common is what you're going to pick up. Okay, you're going to pick up the common information. Now, a lot of times when I'm doing a reading for someone, once again, if you can imagine that atom, and you're seeing this information, you're seeing all these different energies going around, I'm going to pick up the energy string that's out of balance. Okay? The E's is the energy that's normal, and a lot of times I say, "Why are you here today?" You know, but it's that energy that is out of balance that hits you the most. Now, do you go to church, or is there a church? Okay, so you have a faith community then that you go to, and I think that's very important to you. So I see you as a spiritual person, a person that likes to meditate and considers themselves close to God. Okay, so do you have any questions or anything? Is that all accurate so far?
Yeah, that's all accurate.
That's all accurate. Okay, but I got all of that just from the watch. And sensing the energy around you. Normally, I work in the dark. Okay, I work in the pitch dark because it gives me an opportunity not to have people watching me or being able to interfere with me just working with the energy. And a lot of times, people will come up to me weeks or years later is saying, don't you remember me? I was such and such. Well, I was in the dark. But I'll see the energy and go, oh yeah, I remember him then. but that's just kind of how it works. Okay. All right.
When you touch that, you don't have to distinguish that that's been just hers. You can use objects that have belonged to other people as well and clear those energies out.
No,
just pick up on her.
It's very difficult to clear energies completely out, and that's why if there's a trauma, like the O.J. Simpson mansion, they tore down that mansion. That was probably the best thing to do, to remove that energy completely. Because if they would have remodeled it, you can only imagine the people that would have used it as a landmark would have probably been on the scenic route. But that's the best way. You just completely get rid of it. Okay. Okay. Whose is it?
Back in the room. Pat.
What? Who? Pat? It's yours? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Question about my brother who died.
Oh. Okay. Well, yeah, we can.
Can you sense anything about? Is he at peace?
That's bats?
Your name is Pat?
Yes.
Okay. Did your husband, did your brother die under difficult circumstances?
Yes.
Okay.
I long lived in.
Oh, okay, because it just seems like there was some difficulty there crossing over, okay? And he may have, he didn't want to stay, he says. He says that he was very, very sick. He was hoping to cross over so that he wouldn't be able, so he could be at peace. He wants you to know that he is at peace. He says, thank you for asking. Now, we mentioned this lady here was around water. Was he around water, or did he like being around water or anything? Or do you, there's something about being around water. Were you around water?
No, well, he may have been around water in Vietnam.
No, but, well.
He was in the Navy.
He was in the, okay. Well, that might do it. Okay. That does it. Okay. So, but see, that's very common. That's very common. I'm getting something that you can't take, and someone else says, well, he was in the Navy, but he loved the sound of the ocean. He loved the sound of the ocean. He was very much at peace with that.
He was in some dreadful combat.
Combat? Okay. Well, that may be why he was trying to seek a more peaceful period. Okay. So, you know, if I had more time, he would give me more information. But is your mother also in spirit? Or
she's gone.
Okay, because your mother's energy is here as well. Okay. She seemed to be was she spiritual? She seemed to be spiritual in her way.
Slightly.
Okay. And now your mother may have also been into knickknacks. Did she like to have knickknacks? Okay. So she was one of these people that might have always had to dust. Did she dust, always dusting? Okay. Well, in order to keep the knickknacks free.
Probably so.
Okay, but she'd have to dust. Okay, so that's what she's showing me. She's still doing that. So is Dad also in spirit?
He's gone.
Okay, because Dad, did he ever like to do things with his hands or work on wood or anything like that? Okay. Okay, he liked to smooth things out and stuff like that. So those are the things that he's showing me right now. But he's showing me his hands, and he's showing me that he's Dad. He's your dad. See, your brother is to off your right shoulder. Dad is on off your over. See, your brother's here. Dad is here. Mom is over here. Your mom has sisters. Do you have sisters? Or girlfriend? Okay, but there's other women around your mother. Her mother, okay, must be a grandmother then. Okay.
My great aunt, she was more like my grandmother.
Okay. Well, that's so there are other women. Yeah. So your grandmother and great aunt are there. So that's those are the people that I'm seeing around you. So you're only going to get so much detail and be able to identify them. One other thing, did anyone like to do their hair all the time, or always doing their hair? Is that your grandmother or mother?
No, my mother.
Your mother, okay, she was always brushing her hair or something like that. So that's just kind of what she's showing me. So, okay. But if there's any other questions, please feel free to ask. Yes?
How do you feel when you're just in a restaurant or you're here and you look up and you see other entities or aliens or spirits or whatever? I mean, how does that make you feel?
It's normal.
Can you shut it down?
It's normal. It's just, they're everywhere. I mean, it's just like the room here. I mean, we're all here, but the room is full. It's just a matter of paying attention to what they're trying to communicate.
If one is trying to communicate to you desperately that they want to get a message over, do you say, back off, I don't have time for this now?
No, that really has never, I can't say that's happened every once in a while, but it's really, it's an ethical issue, or I can't just go up to someone, and I don't feel it's proper for me to go up to someone and start giving them readings. That's not ethical from my viewpoint.
If that was happening here, though, you would feel...
If someone was trying to, they probably would have already said something to me. So, yes, ma'am, way in the back.
Just really quick, what is your advice to get rid of an entity that's around you that you didn't ask for? That you don't want around you?
Ask your guides to help remove them. Ask the angels to remove them. Yes.
Is there something in your aura versus other people that the spirits know that, oh, he can hear us? Or, do you know what I'm saying?
We all have a range and frequency of our psychic abilities. And I'm developed because I've practiced. I can't tell you that others can't develop and practice as much as I do. But we do all have different ranges and frequencies, just as some people are musicians, some people are flight attendants, some people resonate towards certain energies. This is where my energy resonates.
So if you're vibrating at a higher level, then the spirits know that, oh, he can hear us, so let's
Well,
go talk to him.
I'm caution saying higher level
Well,
because I'm not superior.
No, that's not.
I'm not. It's not. A lot of times people get into their ego quite a bit, and that's a mistake.
How old were you when you first began seeing?
Well, this is the only experience I've ever had. So I've always had the same abilities. It's just when I was younger, people would not take it. The easiest way to deny psychic ability is for someone to say no, no. And if they say no, I can't question them, and I don't challenge them. Yes, sir.
Speculation again.
Okay.
If I could get you to sit down and read a book on face reading,
Uh-huh.
by the way, which some of this reminds me of that, do you think it would interfere with your psychic ability? Would it screw it up?
No.
Read a book on what?
Yes.
Did you know Bertha Ketchig's?
Yes. I know her.
Because in her later years, they said her abilities waned. I've been to her 2 or 3 times.
She's a lot like face
A
reading.
very nice
Mm-hmm.
older lady, but she
Except
was
you gotta look pretty.
bad straits.
But I will tell you, they never wane. It's a matter of paying attention. You can be very, very sick, and the energy's still there.
Yeah, that could have been
It's
all
always
kinds of reasons.
yeah. It's just she may not have wanted to
Very
recognize
friendly.
it, or
She just
didn't.
wanted someone to visit her. I
Yeah.
think, a lot.
Yeah, she was a very nice lady.
I liked her.
And yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
You mentioned earlier having contact with gray and brown aliens. Now, I've never heard of the brown aliens, and I was curious what the characteristics of those were and what you felt like, when you contact them, what their intentions were.
I don't contact them. They show up.
They show up.
The Greys are generally the investigators. They're the ones that people fear. They're the ones that may do the abductions or operations. They're not the friendliest group. They have their own agenda. The Browns are mainly here to observe. They want to figure us out. That's why.
They don't have a lot of personality, do
No, they're not about personality. No. Who is it over here? Yes.
Time for just one
Okay.
more question.
Okay. Yes, sir.
When people reincarnate, does that become unavailable to sort of show up in readings, or if they reincarnate, are they still part of them on the other side? Then they still show up in readings.
The residual reading energy could show up.
They could reincarnate, but still be in a reading coming from the other side.
Spirits are very. It just depends on the energy. I can't tell you I've had that experience where someone was here and still talking to me from a previous incarnation. I can't tell you I've had that. That would be more like bilocation or bilocating from. Or splitting the energy of the soul.
So if you see somebody's mother or great aunt or something, that means they haven't reincarnated yet?
Generally, from my experience has been we are kind of in groups. And so maybe your great-great-great-great-grandparents are the ones that are reincarnating now. But generally those people that are immediately around you, I can't say it for certain, but those are generally the people that do not reincarnate right away. Okay, so okay, I can answer your questions later, but we're about done. So I want to thank you all for listening to me today.
Cappello.
Okay, all right, thank you.